In today's comic discussion video, the question I have from my fellow comic fans: do you add in your travel and shipping costs to what you pay for your comics? Let's talk about it. And for more comics content, head over to genoscomics.wordpress.com. Okay, people, welcome back to another comic discussion video. If you're new here and you like what you see and you're interested in more comic book content, go ahead, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it, and get to engage and have some more comic fun with the rest of the world and comics. So in this video here, it's kind of connected to a video I dropped not too long ago talking about how gas prices affected your comic content you're collecting. But in this video, it's going to be, do you add in the cost of shipping or travel to what you pay for your comics? So what I mean is, so let's say you're going after a specific book and maybe you're like, all right, this one comic shop has this book, a big book that you're after, say Avengers #4, first ever appearance of Captain America, joins the Avengers, and all right, you found this book there, they have it for whatever price, but maybe it's an hour and a half away and you have to spend the gas to get there. Do you add in that cost? Do you consider that cost to be part of what you pay for that comic? Like, let's say, I don't know, $30, and then they want $1,500, I don't know, whatever that book is going for. You say you paid whatever plus the price of the gas in as far as the total price for that book. For my personal sense, I would say yes, because it was such a very specific thing. But on the flip side, or the other side is, all right, let's say I go to a convention and I'm paying for the ticket, or let's say I'm actually paying for the ticket and I don't have a press pass. Paying for the ticket, the travel to get there, and the hotel. Now, in that sense, not likely, because you're there and it's an entire weekend experience. You're doing a whole lot of other stuff there. I would not factor that in. That's own separate thing, which also kind of brings in a funny point that I've seen before and I've said it as well. Like, for conventions, like, we pay money to go to a place to spend more money. And like, nobody's gonna really complain about that. It's just kind of a funny thing to think about. Like, just like the entrance fee, like, you're paying money to spend more money, for the opportunity to spend more money. Not even guaranteed that you will. Going into a convention, you might not find anything in there. So that's kind of a dilemma I'm facing with another event that's coming up. I won't talk about it yet, just in case I decide not to go, but kind of a thing, the same kind of thing there. But also, just even going to not just conventions, but other comic shops even closer, or maybe you have to take the train there. Or I think it's probably more specific if you going after one specific comic book, because like your trip is solely based on that one thing. Whether if you're just going out, like I've made trips, like day trips, to hit one comic shop, two or three. I've hit several comic shops in a single day. Like, I wouldn't like think about all the gas I spent and kind of divide it up amongst all those different books, especially if you're going out there, price of your books, and you're hitting the dollar bin. So it's just gonna make the prices just fluctuate all over the place. You're gonna have a lot of outliers. But I just thought it was just a kind of interesting thing to think about, and just how, especially whatever you're after now, especially you're going after older books, golden and silver age books, you're probably, the older they are, the more you're paying for them, the higher grade you might, if you're going out there or something, you're paying up for those. So like, all right, then it starts to, the number of books you start to come back with starts to decrease. So then you can kind of say, okay, you know what? I didn't just pay $1,000 for this comic. I had to spend the gas to go out there, cab, rideshare, whatever else that you spent, train fare. So airfare, maybe you're going across country to look at a collection. And I've seen plenty of stories, people doing that. Like, you know what? I'm gonna check out this collection. Somebody over in, I don't know, Utah has a collection, and I'm in New York. I'm gonna take a plane to go check it out, see what they have there, and the ticket costs this. I'm not gonna get the books yet, but I'm going out there to look at it. All right, and then we're gonna make the deal. Or maybe you do come back and you take the collection right then, and maybe you pack it all up, you get a U-Haul, and then drive back across the country to your home spot. So then you probably factor it in that way, that the cost of the U-Haul or whatever, maybe renting a van or something like that. So there's all these different factors that do play into the cost. And again, I dropped a video earlier this year talking about the cost of collecting comics in 2022 and all the different things that kind of go into, because it's never just buying the comics, never, because time, as I said, was just an underrated factor, because you, as a comic collector, you're spending all sorts of time. Just as a comic fan, reading, sorting, you're organizing collection, you're doing all this, digging through your collection, you're selling books, you're going through your collection, for all right, you know what, I don't need this book anymore, let me pull this out. You got duplicates of books, all right, it's time to sell some stuff, make some room, because maybe you just run out of space, or like, all right, you know what, help the hobby fund itself, get rid of some of these other books so I can go after some other books that I want. I don't need these anymore, or I don't just wanted to pick these up specifically to sell them, or as trade bait, kind of getting those out of there. So there's all these different factors that kind of play into what you want, and I'll link that video in the description so you can go check that out, and maybe it might spark some things in your mind that you hadn't thought of, or kind of reminded you of some things, or you may have something to add to that discussion, because maybe you have another situation and there's a cost that was specific to you that I did not mention. Definitely drop a comment in that, and just curious to see if anybody else has any other thoughts in that, or drop the comment here as well. But again, it's not just be a fun discussion, because as I said, it's never just buying the comics. It's never that easy. The universe doesn't work that way. So you're looking at any number of books out there, especially if you're looking at dollar books, and then you go to a shop and all you come back away with is dollar books, because whatever else and everything else might be overpriced, which we've seen a lot of. Everybody's asking for more than anything else on eBay, mycomicshop.com, any other online retailer, and they're just upcharging for no reason whatsoever. I was like, all right, these books are overpriced, but you found some stuff in the dollar books, but you had the travel cost to get there. Do you add in that cost to what you spent that day at the shop? And that might just bump it up a little bit, just because maybe dollar books, like, oh, you paid $1 for it at the shop, but you spent, I don't know, $20 in gas, and you bought 20 bucks. So like now you're at, would it be $2 a book then instead? So I don't know, just something to think about, just in case, if curious if anybody else has kind of considered this, and you're with your own hunting and your own collecting. And then that was mostly just travel costs, but then shipping costs. So especially with eBay and just what everybody's charging for shipping, and then you got taxes and fees. So you're looking at a book, and that's why I say a lot of times when I'm on eBay, and that's how I found one specific seller. It's like, all right, a lot of sellers actually, like, all right, I'm looking for a specific book. Okay, then whatever they're charging for shipping, if it's free shipping, it doesn't matter so much. But if they have some good combined shipping rates, like, okay, let me see what this other seller is also offering up. Like, oh, hey, you know what, they have another X-Men book I'm after, or Supergirl. Maybe there's an Amazing Spider-Man book. Oh, they have a few of them. Oh, okay. So now you're looking through, like, oh wow, I'm gonna watch that. Like, hey, that's a book I'm after as well. So the one seller I found early in the pandemic, I forgot their name now, because they're not even on eBay anymore. But oh my goodness, what was the name? I forgot the name of their company. But I found them that way, and I was looking for some specific books, and then having a bunch of them. So that's how I was able to score a ton of X-Men, especially some Bronze Age books, Avengers, Amazing Spider-Man, Captain America, and Daredevil, which obviously I've talked about are my main 5 comic titles across the board, but specifically Marvel. And that's how I was able to score a bunch of great deals. And with their shipping it was free over $100, I think. So free shipping over that, and I cleared that amount a lot shopping with them. So like, just considering those shipping costs. But then looking at some other books, some more modern books I talked about, I overpaid because I couldn't, for some reason, I just didn't have any patience at the time. So, and they ended up coming in stock on mycomicshop.com, a week and a half, 2 weeks later. But I'm looking at a $4 book, and you get it for cover price, but then you're paying $4 or $5 for shipping. So now it went from a $4 book to a $9.50 book. Like, all right, you start to do that for a couple different books from multiple sellers. You do that from 3 or 4 sellers, and now you went from what might have been $12 in a comic shop to over $30, because you're paying $9, almost $10 for one book and shipping from 3 different sellers. So now that kind of changes how you look at your collecting. Like, oh man, and I did that going full well. I was like, all right, you know what? And like I said, just didn't have patience at the time. I wish I would have waited, because I could have saved several dollars. But I'm just thinking, you know what? There's variants right now, and everybody's going crazy, and who knows what's going on. So let me get these books now, just make sure I get them. And what do you know? They turn around and pop up in stock late, from just some late shipments. So late processing, mycomicshop.com, whatever happened there. But there's some other things there that you just have to factor in. And then if you get into bigger books, especially, you're paying $200-300 for a comic, and especially maybe a graded comic, where they're charging $15-20. Yeah, you can go ahead and tack that right on as well, because it's not just a $320 book now. Now it's $340 book plus taxes and fees, maybe $350. So that's just like, all right, that's what you pay for the book. And now if you split it up amongst a bunch of books and you pay $6 shipping and then 50 cents or $1 additional for each additional book, all right, you can kind of split that up amongst those, and it definitely makes it feel a little better, because you're not paying this one sum for one book, but it just kind of spread across all those comics that you picked up. Then, so as I always said, kind of talked about finding deals on eBay, and that's one of the things. Like, hey, pick up a bunch of books from a seller and kind of come away with a cheaper cost per book, and especially you're decreasing what you're paying in shipping and overall making just a better deal for yourself. So that's just something there. I just wanted to just kind of again just share this, because I thought it was just interesting discussion, and with everybody's different tastes and how they hunt and how they collect, everybody's gonna have kind of different scenarios and different opinions on that. So definitely looking forward to hearing all that in the comments below. Happy reading, happy entertainment collecting. This is Geno's Comics. Thanks for watching, and peace out.